Yeah, I do believe that Path of Exile is in a position right now that it might kill it. It might kill both games. Because a huge load of people who are starved for Path of Exile 1 content right now are hopping on the hate train to make Path of Exile 2 more like Path of Exile 1. Because they don't get Path of Exile 1 content anywhere else. They just have Path of Exile 2 and they express their frustration with the game. And the Path of Exile 2 players are upset because they are seeing the trends and they are seeing that the game is going to go to the direction of the will of the majority. Which, I'm sorry, Path of Exile 1 right now have more fans than Path of Exile 2. Right now, GGG is at the line. If they doesn't figure out how to produce Path of Exile 1 content, Path of Exile 1 content, fast, Path of Exile as a whole might be so greatly damaged that it's going to, going to be permanent. Yeah, so I genuinely do believe that. Path of Exile 1 is a great game. It has a lot of fans and has a lot of potential to be beloved and played by many, many people for years to come. They released the second episode, Path of Exile 2, and I must say the same is true for Path of Exile 2 as well. However, Path of Exile right now is in a really, really bad position. And I would say both games and the developer company. And the main reason of that is that the community behind Path of Exile is now deeply divided and they feel betrayed. There are lots of controversies happened since Path of Exile 2 was released. And these controversies are slowly but surely eroding away the goodwill of the community, which pretty much might kill the game and the company as well. It has the potential to kill them. Now, and this biggest problem, is the community feedback, which is strange because the community feedback should be the main thing what improves the game and not the one which is killing it. However, Path of Exile 2 choose to go into a completely different direction from Path of Exile 1, and when people do that, that's always causing the same problem. That the fanbase is going to be divided. Some people going to like the original version more than the new one, and some people going to like the new one more than the original version. And these two fractions are going to be at constant war, and both of them are going to try to convince GGG to change the game to their liking. Make it more like Path of Exile 1 or make it less like Path of Exile 1. While optimally you want to satisfy both groups, and then they're both happy. And actually, this was the original idea of Path of Exile 2's development, because they created it as a separate game, and they wanted to create Path of Exile 1 and 2 with completely different teams and just develop it in parallel. So they don't have to compromise between the two groups, because if you don't like the new direction of Path of Exile 2, Path of Exile 1 is still an existing game you can play. It's still in live service, it's still getting content, so you can just play with it if you like that more. Or if you like both, you can jump between them and, have the time of your life. So this idea made everyone happy. Now, what ended up happening is the exact opposite. As it turned out, Path of Exile 1 development team was reallocated into Path of Exile 2. So nobody was working on Path of Exile 1 since a calendar year. And it's uncertain that when or how will people return to develop Path of Exile 1. And that's a problem. Because, that means that the Path of Exile 1 community and the people who want the original Path of Exile experience does not get content at all. So the Path of Exile 1 community who like that game more, feeling betrayed because they are betrayed. However, what makes it extremely troubling and extremely problematic is that right now the two player groups by default shouldn't even interact with each other. Because if you like Path of Exile 1 more than Path of Exile 2, you just should play with Path of Exile 1 and don't even interact with Path of Exile 2, and vice versa. But because Path of Exile 1 does not get content, that's why the war actually starts. Path of Exile 1 community trying to play with Path of Exile 2, but they are unsatisfied with the product. And they are trying to convince GGG, make the game more like Path of Exile 1. And the people who like Path of Exile 2 more are annoyed that if they wanted changes, which is going to turn Path of Exile 2, a unique game experience, into Path of Exile 1, which they don't want. the entire thing is going to a direction when GGG is breaking everyone's promise. So, it's the worst case scenario between these two groups, and this battle, this war, starts to get worse and worse as time goes on, especially because, as I said, since the calendar year, Path of Exile 1 did not get content. And, what are going to do these involved Path of Exile 1 fans who invested lots of money in GGG to develop the game, what they like? They gave them a lot of support, they gave them lots of love, lots of money, and now they are abandoned. So they are frustrated, and rightfully so. And now there are the other players, the new players who like Path of Exile 2 more, who also feel betrayed and frustrated because, again, that's the other promises getting broken right now. I actually wanted to make a reaction type video to my own video, so it's going to be a little bit of meta thing to do. This is my YouTube channel, and I made this YouTube channel from the footage I record in this stream. So these videos are not scripted. I'm just here out here touching grass and say what's in my mind. And that's why the ideas, what I'm trying to say, is not necessarily well described, not necessarily so collected and understandable. So it's pretty much possible that what I said here is not understandable. My video was about the abandonment of Path of Exile 1. So this video, what I'm going to react to, is not even talking about Path of Exile 2 at all. It's a 50 minutes video, and maybe 30 seconds or so is about Path of Exile 2. Okay? So the main topic of this entire thing is Path of Exile 1's abandonment. Just for seeing what is happening here and seeing what's going on, I'm going to play the relevant parts of this video. Path of Exile 2 was released. It was generally alright, it was fine, but it was undercooked. It wasn't really that great experience what we hoped for. I mean, it had a lot of potential, it had a lot of good parts, but overall it was so unbalanced, it was so a drag to level up, to just go to the campaign. It was really slow. Yeah, this general slag and really bad experience. It's not necessarily the problem of the game, it's just the problem caused by being an early access game and a fresh launch, and just simply it needs some time to cook. Basically, that's the entire thing I'm saying about Path of Exile 2. From this point on, I'm talking about what was the original promise, that the two games are going to be developed together, and Path of Exile 1 and 2 should be completely separate. And they abandoned this when Path of Exile 2 released, and they actually admitted it to us when Path of Exile 2 released. So I actually say a couple of other things about Path of Exile 2 later on in this video, but basically the exact same sentiment what I just said here. It's underwhelming right now, it's not that great, but let them cook. This is what I said. So we are 1 minute in the video. It's quite obvious that I am actually quite positive towards Path of Exile 2. I had a overall mixed experience, but it's early access, and I have faith in this company, and I do believe that they are going to improve this. This is the message. Right now, I wanted to show you are the comments. You cannot really see here because the likes and dislikes are not really shown on YouTube anymore. But I know that this video has a huge amount of dislikes, and when there are a huge amount of dislikes like this, that it's really obvious that something is going on. It's always the question that, what's the problem with the video? Why are people upset about this video? And the greatest thing to find it out is if I watch the comments. And yes, in this case as well, the comments actually shows what is going on. Now let me show you one comment which actually explains why are they upset about my video. Here you are. And you and all of your friends will be happy as fuck playing Path of Exile 2 in the end. If it's one thing I know, Europeans will play complete garbage. Now he refers here to my YouTube channel, it's European Gamer. So, yeah, so because I'm European, I'm going to play with garbage, because Path of Exile 2 is garbage. I cannot really understand, but okay. This game is fire and only getting better. Bumps in the road? Yes, but tell me one game that doesn't. PoE 1 was dead already. Okay. It looked like crap, combat didn't age well, systems on systems killed any hope of new players learning or wanting to learn the game, and most of all, we needed something new. Sit, shut up, and wear a helmet. So there's just so much so much going on with this comment that I'm pretty sure that this is just a troll. However, if it's just a troll, why are there so many dislikes? So this sentiment should be there amongst people. Yeah, I mean, this can be legit. Now, just to see, he's telling me that that in the end I'm going to play Path of Exile happier because Path of Exile 2 is a great game. And yes, I do agree. I said it in the video. Let me show you the relevant part of the video. So, okay, I tried it out. It was quite fun. I'm really excited for the next league, but otherwise, give me my PoE 1 league. Because that was the idea that, okay, I tried it out. It's underwhelming right now. I let it cook. Give me my PoE 1 season. So yeah, this is literally my sentiment, that right now it's a little bit underwhelming, bumps on the road, yes, but tell me what game what doesn't have. Yeah, I just said that. Thank you for parroting me back my own sentiment. I just said this entire thing. This video is not about how Path of Exile 2 is a bad game, because it isn't. This video was about that GGG abandoned Path of Exile 1, and they did not release any content to it for 1 year, and this might kill both games. This is the biggest problem that Path of Exile as a whole has right now. Then the second part, that PoE 1 was dead already. I mean, it's just... I mean, come on. Dude, how is an upward trend dying? Just look at Steam charts, dude. Year by year by year, league by league by league, Path of Exile 1 had more and more players. And the record number of players Path of Exile 1 ever had was the last league, Settlers of Khalgor, which actually happened to be released a year ago, and that's a real problem. So that just shows to you, if they never would have released Path of Exile 2, they would just simply release Path of Exile 1 content, right now might have had more players than ever, you know? So yeah, I mean, Path of Exile 1 was not dead. For the matter of fact, it's still not dead, even though it got a huge blow because it did not get any content for almost a year. So everything what is written here is bullshit. But what actually made me think that maybe, just maybe, this is not a troll comment, is that I actually got a lot of other comments like this. As you can see, look at this wall of text. Just look at this. PoE 2 is definitely in a rough early access state at the moment. There are often huge difficulty jumps and problems where character has too much difficulty certain content, but come on with the doom and gloom and whining. Where PoE is over, the devs doesn't respect my valuable time, the game needs to be exactly like this or I hate it. Okay, where did I say these? Again, let's see in the video what I'm telling about Path of Exile 2. It was generally alright, it was fine, but you know, it was undercooked. It wasn't really that great experience what we hoped for. I mean, it had a lot of potential, it had a lots of good parts, but overall it was so unbalanced, it was so a drag to level up, to just go to the campaign. It was really slow. Yeah, you know, this general slag and really bad experience. It's not necessarily the problem of the game, it's just the problem caused by being an early access game and a fresh launch, and just simply it's you know, it needs some time to cook. So that's it. That's what I said about Path of Exile 2. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I understand that it's an early access. I understand that they're improving it, and I do believe that they are going to improve on it. Let them cook. That's the phrase I am using multiple times in the video. So when this commenter says that, but come on with this doom and gloom and whining, where PoE is over, the devs don't respect my valuable time, the game needs to be exactly like this or I hate it. Who are you arguing with? I especially said in the video that I don't want to make any form of critique towards Path of Exile 2, especially because it's early access. I don't want to make an early judgment about it. This is my sentiment. So, you know, this person is arguing with, I don't know, somebody in his head. And this is exactly the sentiment I was talking about in the beginning. That you see, this is a Path of Exile 2 fan right here. This person likes Path of Exile 2 a lot. And he does not want Path of Exile 2 to be like Path of Exile 1, because he actually likes the current state. And he is fed up, and he is really, really annoyed by the lot of people on the internet, the Path of Exile 1 fans, who does not get content for Path of Exile 1, and therefore they're assaulting GGG to make Path of Exile 2 more like Path of Exile 1. And he jumps in and trying to defend and defeat everyone who is critical towards Path of Exile 2. Look at this wall of text. How long this thing is. If you just watched the first 5 minutes of the video, or just the first minute of the video, you will understand my take on Path of Exile 2. So this person obviously did not watch the video. And this sentiment is what is going to kill Path of Exile. You know, this is that there is no consideration, there is no understanding, there is no even will to comprehend what is being said here. I was not even critical towards Path of Exile 2 in this video. Not at all. And yet I am attacked, and this is the sentiment what causes that right now approximately 30 or 40% of people are disliking the video. And this shows the clear divide in the community. It's actually not talking about my video, because they are not arguing with me in this video. So in the comment sections, they are arguing with this entity in their head, which is the Path of Exile 1 community, which want to form Path of Exile 2 into Path of Exile 1. And when they see this entity, when they see this boogeyman, in this case in my video, they are attacking it. And that's just a shame. That's just a problem. You know, not just because my video is getting downvoted. To be fair, that doesn't matter at all. Although this person could be a potential subscriber of mine if this person would take the time to watch my video. But they didn't. They chose to ignore my video and write a ranty comment about how Path of Exile 2 is in rough shape, but it's going to improve over time because GGG is going to improve on it. Yeah, thank you for parroting me back what I said about the game. I literally said the same thing. So what's going on? Again, they read the title, Path of Exile's Downfall. They see these words together, and they immediately say that, alright, this is a Path of Exile 2 hater who's gloom and gloom and now he wants... No, that's not in the video. Yeah, that is a little bit clickbaity title, although I do agree with the title. This is Path of Exile's Downfall. Path of Exile 1 Downfall. Path of Exile 1 had its best release with the most players with Settlers of Kalgar. You know, that's the highest of the highest this game ever had. And after that, right after that, for an entire year, it did not get any content, and therefore, you know, people abandoned it. A lot of people deleted the game. They are just left, and it's might possible that a lot of people are not going to return to the next season because of this mismanagement. So yeah, that is Path of Exile's Downfall. And if you watch the video, it's really clear. It's really understandable. And here we are, Path of Exile 2 defenders are jumping in to tell me how wrong I am and tell me that I'm just a whiny guy who just wants Path of Exile 2 to be exactly like I want it to be. You see, this is what I was talking about in the beginning. That people are not arguing anymore. There is no discussion anymore. There is no debates anymore. People have a general idea and they want videos and they want content which parroting back their idea of the world. People either decided that they hate Path of Exile 2, and therefore they want a video to tell them that Path of Exile 2 is the worst thing ever and it's shit. Or they like Path of Exile 2 and they want a video which is going to tell them that Path of Exile 2 is the best game ever created right now. So yeah, people don't want to see videos, they don't want to have discourse. They want to see their own ideas said back to them. They just want reassurance that yeah, people believing the same thing about the world that I do. And no, this video is quite a nuanced take. And therefore, this kind of culture war thing, you know, choose a side and kill everyone on the other side, it's not working here. But nowadays, a lot of people just cannot simply talk about a nuanced take. They're not able to have a real discussion anymore. Yeah, I do believe that Path of Exile is in a position right now that it might kill it. It might kill both games. Because a huge load of people who are starved for Path of Exile 1 content right now are hopping on the hate train to make Path of Exile 2 more like Path of Exile 1, because they don't get Path of Exile 1 content anywhere else. They just have Path of Exile 2 and they express their frustration with the game. And the Path of Exile 2 players are upset because they are seeing the trends and they are seeing that the game is going to go to the direction of the will of the majority. Which, I'm sorry, Path of Exile 1 right now have more fans than Path of Exile 2. You know, Path of Exile 1 is a really, really old game with lots of dedicated fans who spent years and years and years to play with that game. They are extremely dedicated. If you like Path of Exile 2, that's great, but you are outnumbered. And, that's just the natural order of things. Path of Exile 2 has the potential to have even more fans over the years, but right now it does not have. And, that is why it's a problem that there is a huge number, especially the majority of fans, which are right now screaming at the top of their lungs to make this game more like Path of Exile 1. And there's a high likelihood that it's actually might happen because of this. And yes, that's might be bad, because it's never going to be exactly like Path of Exile 1. And these players are going to jump back to Path of Exile 1 when GGG actually figures out how to develop the two games together. And the Path of Exile 2 players who want this new experience are going to be robbed by this new experience. So, yeah, this is a really rough situation to be, and it's GGG's fault. I am sorry, we have to say it. This is only on GGG. Because if they did not remove Path of Exile 1's development team, as they promised, and they would deliver Path of Exile 1 leagues, as they promised, then what would have happened? That right now, we would have the third league since Settlers of Kalgor. The Path of Exile community would be really happy playing with Path of Exile, as they always did. And Path of Exile 2 would have their 0.2 release a month from now, because they could develop it slower. So, would that be really bad? Right now, GGG is at the line. If they doesn't figure out how to produce Path of Exile 1 content, Path of Exile 1 content, fast, Path of Exile as a whole might be so greatly damaged that it's going to, going to be permanent. Yeah, so I genuinely do believe that.